Okay, say hello. Say hi. Hey. Hi everybody, this is Morgan Chin. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Morgan Chin featuring Koda the pup. This is Koda, my 6-month-old golden doodle who's a little crazy. But today we're bringing you frequently asked questions about Georgia Tech M.S. HCI program. And Koda's here because I know if you're like me, you waited to the last minute to do your application and you're a wee bit stressed. And so he's here to provide you with some relaxation, maybe some calming, some anxiety relief, because he's so cute. Look at him. Yes, yeah, he's so cute. With that, we are going to get started. So stick around to hear some frequently asked questions about applications, general Georgia Tech questions, and the different tracks in the program. We're coming today with frequently asked questions. I get a lot of questions in my inbox on LinkedIn, through my email about the Georgia Tech program. So I thought that I would do a part 1 and part 2 of frequently asked questions, and this is part 1. Okay, are you ready for the first question? Are you ready? Okay, he's playing. So, all right, first question is, how is the program? Oh, you like it? Okay. I have a video that I'm going to stick here where I tell you, hey, Koda, don't eat that. Where I tell you how the program is. It's absolutely amazing. I really like it. So I would definitely check out that video. I give a full review of the program and that'll be more helpful to you. Hey, next question. What is the most technical aspect of the program? Is programming... Hey, can you stop biting the microphone? Guys, look at him. Say hi. What is the most technical aspect of the program? Is programming or writing coding involved? So I would say the most technical aspect depends on the classes that you take. Some classes require programming or coding, some don't. It's avoidable for the most part, but eventually you're gonna have to see it square in the face. So, but luckily they're really kind about beginners, people like me that can't code. They're really nice about that. So I would definitely say the most technical aspect, it is maybe the classes that you take. Like in the first 4 classes, you don't have any technical requirements. I mean, you can pretty much get through the program without coding for the most part. I cannot code and I've been doing great. I would not worry about it. The classes where I did have to code, I was able to get help from the TAs, get help from YouTube, and it wasn't anything too extensive. What do you believe is the most important skill needed in order to succeed in this program? Ooh, that's a good question. Hey, buddy, you cannot eat my hair. I would say determination, and I say that because to get to where you want to be, you're gonna have to work hard, and you're gonna have to be determined to get there. These wonderful opportunities are not going to fall in your lap. So if you're not willing to work hard, forget it. If you're not willing to start ahead of time on certain things, forget it. So I would say determination, anything else you can learn. You can learn technical skills, you can learn hard skills. I mean, soft skills are a lot harder to learn. Things like determination, things like grit, perseverance, those are harder. So if you have those, you can learn anything else, any technical skills or any hard skills. Okay, you ready for the next question? It says, what do you like and dislike about the program? Ooh, that's a good question. Me personally, love all the opportunities that the program has provided. Honestly, things that I never probably would have been able to do, people I never would have met, like classmates, classes I never would have taken, opportunities like internships and different things. Like, that's my favorite part. I mean, to be honest, I need a check. Gotta pay bills. So it's nice to be able to have these wonderful opportunities to do that. And the thing I dislike, Okay guys, I mentioned this in my video before, but I want to be a product designer, and that requires you to know visual design skills. And I feel like the program has some improvement to do there. Definitely, they could offer some more skills on visual design, some more classes in regards to that. And so I dislike that we don't have as many classes in that, and it's something that you have to learn. How would you describe the course offered by GT? So I'm gonna assume by course this person meant like the program as a whole. So I would describe it as really great. I would describe it as a program that you're gonna have to work hard in. I would say that it's definitely worth the money. If you're thinking about, oh my gosh, the cost, what am I gonna do? It's worth it. I would go for it, worth the money. It's just an all-around great program. So I would definitely do it if it's something that you're thinking about. Is Georgia Tech an inclusive and diverse environment or open? Okay guys, so for my minorities out there, if you're wondering, is this an inclusive, diverse environment? Okay, so it's diverse, but not with a ton of minorities. That's something that they do need to work on. I definitely think the amount of minorities, the amount of African Americans that they have there, it's not that many. The amount of Black people in general. I do feel like it is inclusive of different people, no matter age, race, sex, different things like that. I feel very open about that. I feel like very welcome. I have never felt unwelcome or discriminated against or anything like that. Nobody's perfect, no program's perfect, but I genuinely have really enjoyed it and haven't had those issues. And in the M.S. HCI program in general, I feel like that you are treated with respect, you are welcome, you're given great opportunities, and your voice can be elevated if you want it to. If you want to be on our media team that we have, if you want to write articles, if you want to do podcasts, if you want to do YouTube channels like I do, the program will support you. It will help elevate your voice. That's something that can happen, right? So it totally depends. He's biting my, come here. Ah! He's trying to bite me. Say hello to the people. Ah! No bite. Anybody else have a really bitey dog? Like, just like really biting. I'm about to go get him a chew toy. 1 second. This is his favorite chew toy, so maybe he'll stop trying to chew at my hair. Okay, now we're talking about tracks. A lot of questions I get asked about tracks. I think that's a question that everyone gets asked the most. So let's see. What's your track? My track is digital media, also known as literature, media, and culture, one of the 4 tracks that we have in our program. Would you know if applying through any one of the colleges, computing, literature, psychology, industrial design, has more or less impact on securing GTA or GRA? Good question. As far as I know, no. I've not heard of, for this HCI degree, either track lending to getting more GTA or GRA or getting less. I don't know if that makes a difference at all. Hey, could you also tell me the rough ratio of students in each track? I don't know that off the top of my head. That's a good question. But I do know that interactive computing usually has the most students out of all the tracks, and psychology usually has the least. It's usually interactive computing, then industrial design, then LMC or digital media, and then psychology usually has the least amount of students. Okay, hey, Koda, no. This is when I have to give him a toy so he'll stop biting my hair. Okay, lastly, out of the 4 schools, which school should I apply through for higher chances of acceptance? I do not know because I am not working in admissions and I cannot tell you that. I will say that interactive computing usually has the most applications, so keep that in mind. It's probably competitive. I'm not entirely sure. Koda, can you move? Usually has the most applications, but I don't know which one you'll get into most. I think it depends on you, right? So you want to apply to the track that you have the highest opportunity of getting accepted to, and that's dependent on your background. Okay, next question. Can you give me a little insight on how to decide which program to apply for between industrial design, interactive computing, LMC, and psychology? Yeah, good question. I get this one a lot. So kind of like I just said, it depends on your background. So I would really think like, what are my skills? What are my abilities? What can I do? And which one of these tracks is it aligned to? Look at the requirements, look at some of the courses, and just kind of think about, okay, if I'm gonna sell myself and say that I can do or I'm really good at any one of these things in the tracks, which one is it gonna be? and I would go with that. So if you have some type of computing background and you really want to, you know, apply, maybe interactive computing is for you. I think a lot of times people apply and they have backgrounds like me, like teaching, there's business, maybe they come from architecture and they're not sure. So that's when I would go into the program websites, go into the requirements, and just kind of think about, what do I feel the most confident about? Because that confidence will show through in your application. So pick the one that you have the best choice of getting into. The difference between the tracks GT offers. I'm mainly interested in ID and psych. Good question. So the tracks are a bit different. Interactive computing track, I would say, is for people who have interest in programming or background in programming, but I don't think you have to have that to be in that track. I would definitely say industrial design is more people making physical things, and if you have any interest in that, you know, that could be something for you. A lot of those students come from industrial design backgrounds, or they come from architecture backgrounds. Psychology track is all about psychology there. There's nothing surprising there. A lot of those students do also come from psychology undergrads, and they've worked in the field or something like that. And then LMC is a little bit of a toss-up. A lot of us come from all different places. Come here. You have some of us who have worked in the industry in all different types of fields. Some people coming straight out of school. I'm a teacher. There's some people who worked in social justice. There's some people who were into writing, who did English. I mean, all kinds of things. So I would say that one's a little different, but that track we're more about like making, it's like installments of things, right? So like the museum exhibits, you also could do AR, VR, you could do, I mean, all kinds of things. The classes are kind of like all over the place, but it's great because they're really interesting. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm not the best source for the difference between the tracks. I would look on the website and reach out to people at the school, right? Like, I'm a DM track. Maybe try to find someone in different tracks that you could talk to, and they can describe the track. And remember, tracks do not matter. Tracks do not matter.
Tracks do not matter.
And when I say that, I mean, once you get in the program, you do have classes that you have to take, but outside of that, you can take electives anywhere. So it doesn't matter what track you pick. You can take classes from any track. Pick the one you're gonna get accepted to, and it's gonna be great. Also, given I have a business or mass communication background, is it better I just apply to the LMC school versus one of the others? Kind of similar thing. It depends on your background, right? So, again, like I said before, apply to the one you have the best chance of getting into. I know it's tricky, but don't stress over it. Don't overthink it. Just go with your peace in your soul. Like, what do you feel like peace about? Like, oh yes, I know this, I'm confident about this. Go with that one. Maybe don't choose the one that you're interested in, that you want to do. Can you stop? Thank you. The one that you're interested in, like, oh, I'd love to do that. If you don't have any experience or any background, maybe that's not the best one for you. But again, I am not the source of truth. It is your choice what you want to do. Last question for tracks. Would you say the DM track is difficult to get into? I don't know, because again, I don't work with admissions. I don't know. I know the school in general is difficult to get into, so I imagine all the tracks are as well. So I'm not really sure about that. Sorry. Okay, let's talk a little bit about applications. Is it at all beneficial to reach out to admissions before applying? That's a good question. I do not do that. I don't think it could hurt, though, to say hello to the program director, Dr. Henneman. He's amazing. If you have any questions, but I don't think like you will get accepted because you did that, and I don't think you will get rejected because you didn't do that. I don't know if it makes that big of a difference. How much? Cody, you're knocking over our camera. How are we supposed to film? Okay, how much GRE in TOEFL, I don't know how to say that, a score is a good score? How much was yours, if you're comfortable telling? Okay, so GRE is waived, woohoo, for this year, yay! So forget about the GRE for the fall 2021 incoming class. Don't take it, save your money, and worry about other things. That's amazing. So I would not focus on the GRE. My score was kind of right around the median. I don't remember exactly anymore off the top of my head, but I know that some of the sections might have been a little lower than their median range, and they really do look at your whole portfolio. So that's something to keep in mind too. And the TOEFL, I'm not sure how to say that, but I don't have to take that because I guess because I'm a United States citizen, I'm not sure if that's why, but I didn't have to take that. So I'm not sure about what's a good score. And this year we don't have to do the GRE, so we don't need to worry about a good score. I would ask an international student about the TOEFL test, if that's how you say it. I didn't take it, so maybe they could help you to know about a good score. Portfolio. So lots of questions about portfolios. I still need to make a video on making portfolios because I can go on and on about this all day. What type of projects did you put in your first portfolio when you were applying to GT? Good question. I put projects related to educational technology. So I redesigned Google Drive for kids. Because Google Drive is really hard to use if you can't read. So I redesigned it for kids who couldn't read in elementary school, lower grades. And that was really fun based off my class because we used it all the time and it was such a pain because I couldn't read the files, and the filing system of a file within a file is very abstract for children. It's hard for them to understand. So I redesigned that and I made a teacher planner that I also just kind of came up with on my own that was digital. And I just had those 2 projects, that was it. And it took me forever to do those. So I feel like that was enough. In my first portfolio, you know I can see it on the web because it's not very good. So it's not there. It was not good at all, guys, compared to kind of what I have now. And it's okay, right? Like, I hope I wouldn't be applying for this already knowing every single thing there is to know about UX design. I was new, I didn't really know anything, and I just did the best that I can, and I showed my passion for the field, and I think that's what matters. All right, next question. Did you have self-initiated projects or projects for my internships? I did not have any internships when I applied, except for teaching type things, so I did self-initiated stuff that I just kind of did on my own. Next question, do you review personal statements or portfolios? Good question. I get a lot of requests to review personal statements and portfolios, and I cannot do that because I do not have the time, and I want to be fair. So like, I don't mind talking with you over LinkedIn or hopping on a quick chat or anything like that. I have time to do that, but to read people's statements and give it the attention it deserves, look at their portfolios, I get so many requests. I don't want to tell some people yes and other people no. I mean, that's not fair. I want to be fair, so I don't do that. However, I am going to do a video reviewing portfolios. If you're interested in me using your portfolio, please reach out to me on LinkedIn, through email, or even in the comments of this video. I will make it anonymous if you want me to. I can also review your resume, and I was just thinking it'd be more helpful for the group if I just showed a couple resume reviews, a couple portfolio reviews, so the whole group can see it and kind of see my thought process when I'm reviewing things. And if I get a lot, maybe I can do more than one video, but I couldn't like specifically sit down with just yours. But by using the video format, I can kind of get around that. So let me know if you're interested, reach out, send me your stuff, and I'm happy to include you in that. Next question. How did you go about making your portfolio? Good question. I feel like in the portfolio video, I need to cover that. Like, just if you know nothing about design, how do you make a portfolio? And that's so true. People assume that you kind of already know. I started out with paper and pencil. I started out drawing it. I drew what I wanted it to look like. Oh, wait, no, let me back up. I started out researching, what do portfolios look like? That's kind of what I started out doing. Hey, no bite. I started out researching, what do portfolios look like? And what kind of things should be in them. We're supposed to be helping people feel better about admissions, and you're just biting me. You're not even helping. But anyway, when I got a good idea of what I thought should be in portfolios, then I went ahead and started drawing out mine, paper, pencil. I draw every page meticulously. That's just kind of how I am. And then when I was comfortable with it, I went to Adobe XD to design the different pages. Did I do Adobe XD? Oh, no, I use Adobe XD to design the different things, like when I redesigned Google Drive, then I designed it in Adobe XD. When I made the teacher planner, I used Adobe XD. Then I decided on a website editor. So I chose Wix for my website editor, and I used that to make my website. So I kind of just transferred over different things that I had drawn and laid out the portfolio there. And I tried to follow the UX process as much as I could, as much as I had. Like, my portfolio didn't have research in it because I didn't know the whole process. So I just did the best I could with brainstorming and like the problem and the solution. I just laid out what I had and made it look really nice. And I submitted it. So that's kind of what I did. And I can think about, you know, if you're interested in me going into a video of like how to make a portfolio or making a portfolio, just leave a comment below. And I can, if people are interested, make a video showing that. Okay, I don't have any background in design and I'm struggling to structure my portfolio for the admission process. I was just wondering if you think 2 projects is okay for a portfolio. So a little encouragement, I didn't have any background in design either. Never fear, you can do this. Anything you put your mind to, you can do. I think 2 projects is just fine. I had 2 projects and it worked out great. Okay, so these questions will be about statement of purpose. So the first question is, since Georgia Tech is a top school for the MS HCI program, can you tell me any specific tips while writing statement of purpose to college admissions committees? Specific tips, yes. I actually have a video on admissions tips and tricks that I will drop here for you. And I think you should check it out because I talk a lot about telling a story. And I don't want to reiterate that here again because I already said that in the video. So watch it and my tips will be there. Is there anything you could have added which you think made a difference in your statement? Yeah, I told a story and I made it personal to who I was. So I'm the EdTech gal. I'm an educator who loves EdTech, and that's what I put in my thing. I talked about my life experiences in education, and that passion that I have for education was all in my statement of purpose. And I think it made a difference because they got to know me as a person through those personal experiences I had. What was your process in writing the personal statements? Oh, okay, so this is my process in writing essays in general. What I typically do is like a kind of, okay, so I start with an outline and I kind of outline like, I want to put this section, this section, this section, this section, and then I do like a word vomit kind of, and I just start writing. So I get anxiety if I have to start an essay from the top and write to the bottom. I cannot do that. So instead I skip around. So this paragraph is about leadership in schools, things that I did in the school as a leader. I was like, oh, I can remember this. So I type a few things there. Then I jump down to EdTech programs I created and I type a few things there. Then I go back to the introduction, type a few things there. I don't know if this is the proper way to write an essay. As a teacher, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but this is how I do it. And then I keep writing and I just get in the flow and I just jump all around. And then when I'm done, I go back to the top and I read through the thing and I organize the sentences. I kind of work with the structure, the grammar, and I get it into something that's coherent, that makes sense. I add like an intro that's really captivating. I make sure I have a good conclusion. And it's easier because I have written the whole thing and now I just need to format it. And then from there, I let other people read it and revise it or kind of give me their opinion on if it makes sense. I cannot write the essay from top to bottom. I mean, I can, but I don't enjoy that. So I prefer to just hop around when I'm in the mood and when I'm feeling inspiration and just like go to town writing about this one thing and then like jump to something else. And that really does help. And your outline helps you. So even if you just write on paper, I want this section about this section about this, and then it'll help you kind of know how to order it, what to put in there, how to skip around. And it'll make it feel a lot less daunting than thinking like, oh, I have to sit down and write my whole statement of purpose from top to bottom. No, just like write a paragraph here, write a paragraph there, and it makes it a lot easier. Okay, sorry guys, Koda's tired of us, so he went over there to go lay down. He's supposed to be providing comfort and relieving anxiety, but he's over there, so hopefully he comes back. But anyways, he was biting the microphone, so it's fine. We'll keep going. Okay, so the last section is about letters of recommendation. How did you reach out to people for recommendations and getting help with your statements? Yeah, Yeah, I feel like people don't talk about that much. Like they think it's obvious, and it's not. I think about people who have good things to say about me. That's very important, and who know me well enough to say those good things. And then I kind of reached out to set up a meeting. I like to ask in person. I don't like to send emails because I sent an email to one professor and they never responded. I don't like that. And I asked like, hey, can you write me a personal statement? And it just didn't reply. So I'll say like, hey, can I meet you in person? And I'll be like, hey, you know, I'm applying to this school. I'll lay out why it's important to me to get into this program, why I wanted them to write me a recommendation, and what I'll provide them. So I'll say like, hey, I'll give you this paper and it'll have all my accomplishments, all the things that I did that you can use to reference. It'll have what school I'm going to, why I want to go there. You can reference that. And then I let them know the deadline as well. I provide them all that information. And I give them enough time to write it. So at least like 3 weeks I'll give them. I think they say you should do a month. I'm not sure, but I did 3 weeks. So I just give them time to write it. And I do that. And I just think about like, who is gonna be in my corner and champion for me? Who's gonna have good things to say about me? That's who I pick. I'm not gonna pick someone I barely know, that I barely interacted with. I'm not gonna ask students at the school. I just never ask recommendations from people that I don't know, because sometimes you don't see them things and they could be writing anything, or they could be writing like one little paragraph versus someone who knows you and really cares about you sends in a whole page of like how awesome you are. You have to be careful with that. So like, just because they went to the program or they go to the school now, that doesn't matter. If they don't know you, what they're gonna say? So I don't do that. People that I know would be in my corner. And so that's it, guys. Those are all the questions for part 1 of the FAQ, frequently asked questions about the Georgia Tech M.S. HCI program. We'll be back next time with part 2. I didn't want to make this too long. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions I didn't cover, drop them down below so I can try to add them in the next video. And stay tuned for more frequently asked questions. Also, to all you who are applying, good luck. I hope everything works out in your favor. Have a great day.